Okay, so I figured it out. All right. I figured out what is causing the problems with the diff. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just clean up the scene again. You know what? No, I'm just going to not use this scene for the next example. But I figured out, anyway, the point is I want to show you how to deal with scene conflicts. Um, yeah, I want to show you how to deal with them from start to finish if and when you have a conflict that can't be automatically resolved by the merge tool. So the merge tool, I think in most cases will automatically merge and will not have to force you to do anything manual. It should just work, and then you go back to Unity and you see your merge results. But in other cases, it may require you to do some manual stuff. So let's do another scene, just a random scene. How about heck reveal? Okay, so what I'm gonna do in this scene, well actually I won't make any changes in this branch. What I'm gonna do is create a new branch to simulate or emulate someone else making changes on another branch. Git stat. Let me just clear. Yeah, I'm just gonna stash my changes here. Okay, so we have a clean temp branch. I'm actually going to delete. I have this temp2 branch. I'm just going to delete it and then recreate it so I can start from scratch. So I'll do git check out a new branch called temp2. So I'm duplicating the temp branch. This is exactly the same. So now we're on a new branch called temp2. It's a exact clone of temp. But what I'm going to do is pretend that I'm somebody else working on the same branch. So I'm now Dylan. Okay, I'm Dylan. I'm in the scene. I'm gonna make a change. I'm gonna flip the car upside down, and why don't we do something else? Why don't we also put a component on the car? We'll just put an AK event on it. So we get two things: car upside down, AK event. You can snapshot that so we can look at it later. All right, I'm saved the scene. I'm gonna use GitHub Desktop from now on here. So there's one change, scene change, commit. Now I'm going to go back to the temp branch where we began. Alright, and I'm going to make another change in the scene. I'm going to turn the frog upside down. Oh, well that's sure, why not, I guess, right? But because I don't know, I feel like I'm OCD. We're going to do that. There we go. Alright, and also why don't we I'm also going to add a component to the Jeep. Why don't we add a on collision event? And I'll add something to the frog just for good measure. AK event. So frog's got an event. I added an event to Jeep, and I flipped over the frog. So what I'll do is I will scene change, commit that to temp, and now I will effectively do a pull. I'm going to pull. Richard made these changes. Richard just committed this to the temp branch. Now Rich is going to pull. Effectively, I'm going to emulate that by merging temp2 into temp. So it's effectively like me pulling Dylan's changes. Okay, so it tells me there's a conflict in the scene, hack reveal scene. So there's no way to resolve that here. So we'll open command line and we'll type git merge tool. And in most cases, this will probably work right out of automatically without you having to do any manual edits. But I think in this case we will have a conflict. The reason is, we'll see later. I'll explain later. Actually, I'll explain now. The reason is because I made a change to Jeep. This is Dylan. Dylan made a change to added a component to the Jeep, made a change to this game object. He added AK event. So he made a change to the Jeep game object. I also made a change to the Jeep game object. Richard also made a change to the Jeep game object by adding a component to it. So that is not something that the diff tool can resolve. It can't resolve changes being made to the same game object by two different people. We have to manually fix those. It does resolve making if Dylan makes changes to frog and I make changes to buttons, that it will handle that automatically without having to run this tool. The command line will just work. It will not open this tool. But anyway, so what I'll do is I will say, you know what? I'm going to pick one. I'm going to either pick my version, Richard's version, or I'm going to pick Dylan's version, the incoming version. So I'm just going to say, why don't we pick the incoming version? So I'll go here. I'll click here, or sorry, I will click here where the issue is, or I can press this, jump to next conflict. So this is a conflict. It's not very human readable, but just make a choice. Apply change from the left or from the right. I'm going to say from the left. I want the incoming changes. I want Dylan's changes applied. And that's it. And then we go save all, or Control S, and then escape. You have to press escape, it so happens, to finish off the merge. Reload, and there we go. So we got a Jeep, and it has Dylan's changes. It doesn't have Richard, the component that Richard added is not on it because we picked Dylan's version of the Jeep. That's what we did in the merge tool. But the frog is good. And did we add any other game objects? I forget. We flipped over the Jeep, and I already forget if we added something else. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, but anyway, you can see that the merge happened. So yeah, hope that's helpful.